Welcome grade 9s to your first e-learning history lesson. Today we are entering the nuclear age. Please find your e-learning divider in your notebook and write the date on a new page. Please make sure guys that this is done in your history section, not geography. This video will be an explanation only and you can follow with me from page 136. Your tasks and notes will be sent in a PDF document after this video. Let us begin. Only two nuclear weapons have ever been used during war, both by the United States near the end of World War II in 1945. The bombs were dropped on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The world had entered the nuclear age. The science of a nuclear or atomic weapon is very complicated. However, the effects of the weapons are very easy to understand. Victims directly underneath the explosions were vaporized instantly. The heat was so intense that bodies got so hot that they literally disappeared into thin air. Nuclear bombs have huge explosive capacity and cause very strong bomb blasts. Fire swept through the cities. The heat created was so great that clothes caught on fire on people over 3 kilometers away from the center of the explosion. Roof tiles melted half a kilometer away. The wind speed on the ground directly beneath the explosion was 1,600 kilometers per hour. The force of the wind flattened most buildings. The explosion released rays of nuclear radiation. Radiation poisoning killed tens of thousands of people in the cities. Deaths from radiation continued to occur for years after the explosions. The destruction caused by these bombs is possibly the reason why nuclear weapons have never been used in warfare again. The Yalta Conference. The Allied parties had defeated Germany and Italy by May 1945. The war in Europe had ended. At the Yalta Conference in February 1945, before the end of the war, the Allies had decided that when Germany was defeated, it would be divided into 4 zones. In June 1945, the Allies divided Germany and Berlin and took over the government of Germany. In July 1945, American, British, and French troops moved into Berlin. If you look at source A at the bottom of page 138, it tells you that in 1945, Germany was divided into 4 parts. France, Britain, America, and Russia each controlled a part. Berlin, the capital city, was in the Russian zone. It was also divided into 4. During World War II, the leaders of Britain, America, and Russia met to discuss war plans. Winston Churchill represented Britain, Franklin Roosevelt represented the USA, and Joseph Stalin represented Russia. Roosevelt died just before the end of the war, and Churchill was voted out of office. Potsdam Conference. The Potsdam Conference was held at the end of the war. Participants were the Soviet Union, Britain, and the United States. They gathered to decide how to administer punishment to the defeated Nazi Germany. The 3 nations were represented by Communist Party General Secretary Joseph Stalin, Prime Ministers Winston Churchill and later Clement Attlee, and President Harry S. Truman. At the Potsdam Conference, it became clear that there was increased tension between the Allies. This tension was because of the following reasons. The first reason is the Soviet Union was occupying Central and Eastern Europe. Russian troops did not withdraw from the countries in Eastern Europe. Stalin insisted that his control of Eastern Europe was a defensive measure against possible future attacks from the West. Britain had a new prime minister. During the conference, there was a general election in Britain. Churchill's party was defeated. Clement Attlee became the prime minister. Attlee deeply distrusted Stalin. Then, America had a new president, and the war was ending. President Roosevelt died just before the end of World War II, and Vice President Harry Truman became the president. During the war, Roosevelt trusted Stalin not to take over Eastern Europe. With the end of the war, Allied unity collapsed. Truman was much more suspicious of Stalin than Roosevelt had been. The USA had also tested an atomic bomb. On 16 July 1945, the Americans successfully tested an atomic bomb in the New Mexico desert. Churchill and Truman agreed that the weapon should be used to defeat Japan. Truman did not tell Stalin about the atomic bomb until 25 July. It later became known that Stalin already knew about the atomic bomb, as he had KGB spies that had infiltrated the group that made the bomb. By 26 July, the Potsdam Declaration had been broadcast to Japan, threatening total destruction unless the Japanese government had surrendered. And that is all for History Today, Grade 9s. Thank you for your patience in listening to me talk for a very long time. Good luck with your tasks, and if you need assistance, please do contact me. Goodbye.